know a simple way to beat stress, fatigue, and get better sleep? Guys, magnesium. The one I use is Magnesium Breakthrough from BioOptimizers. It helped me relax more, stress less, and sleep deeper. What's not to love? When you get all 7 critical forms of magnesium, your body gets a serious upgrade from your brain to your sleep, pain and inflammation, even muscle tension. Guys, you know taking care of your body and brain is more important than ever. And with this one simple action, you can start feeling the benefits quickly. This stuff really works. I want you to check it out. Go to magnesiumbreakthrough.com/Chael. That's going to get you a 10% discount with promo code Chael10. Click on the link in the description or pinned comment to claim your discount and try the power of magnesium for yourself. Masvidal versus Covington is just the story that won't go away. Oh, golly. Let me get my thoughts together, guys. I'm not excited for it. I'm not into it. I'm pretending to be. And I've pretended for 2 years now. Straight shoot right now. The gig is up. I am not into Masvidal versus Colby. Are any of you with me? And I don't totally know why I'm not. The story has everything. It is amongst the best stories in all of combat right now because it is a true personal grudge. These were friends. These were cornermen of each other. First time I ever saw Colby Covington at a UFC was behind the curtain at a weigh-in when he was with Jorge Masvidal. George was sitting in the chair hurting because he was cutting weight. I think George was still going down to 55. And Colby was behind him, rubbing his shoulders. Hey, man, it's going to be okay. We're going to get through this. It's the first time I ever saw Colby at a UFC. I remember I was excited. It was like, I think we were in Atlanta. If I'm wrong, we were in Houston. I mean, I remember it very well because I was excited because I knew Colby and I knew that's something he wanted to do. And even if his foot in the door was as a corner man, I just remember it was a good moment for me. It was a good moment to see Colby involved in the sport that he wanted to be involved in. Guess they used to be roommates. I know when Masvidal came out to do wrestling training at Colby's alma mater, Oregon State, and I'm pointing over my shoulder because it's 40 minutes right behind me. Colby and George came out. They got a place. They stayed together. They ate together. They trained together every day. I mean, these guys were real friends, and now it's to the point that they are not friends. They do not speak unless it's through a third party to bury one another. They want to compete. Colby has been thrown out of the gym because of this rivalry that he got going with George. That spilled over to other people, right? People started picking sides and Colby defended himself. But the story's real. It has everything that you would want. I don't know why I'm not that into it, but I'm not. I'm kind of tired pretending I'm in. You could get me there. If I knew both guys wanted to fight each other, if I started hearing training room stories, if I started hearing what's going to be different when we do this for real, you could talk me into it. And it's not that I don't like the match. There was even talk of them doing the Ultimate Fighter. If they had the marketing mechanism of the Ultimate Fighter, I mean, I don't doubt that this would be massive. I don't doubt anything about the story or the business of the fight. It's just when I look at the match, I could find things I'd rather see Colby go do. And I could find things I'd rather see Masvidal go do. But I'm half pissed off at Masvidal. And I have been for a period of time, which is another thing I've been hiding. Masvidal is so out of touch with where he is in this sport. And I can say it until I'm blue in the face. Masvidal is the second biggest draw in combat. He is only behind Conor McGregor. I would put and I usually say MMA. I'm changing it to combat because I do not know of a boxer. And if you wanted to bring in the Canelos and the Tyson Furies, I'll be open to listening. I don't know of anyone, though, for sure, besides Conor, that can draw more than Masvidal. Masvidal's in a very unique spot, not to mention he's got his belt. The whole thing he set out to do since he was a little boy, he went in and he got the belt. And there's even talk from Dana that they're not going to make the sumbitch defend it, which means he gets to be champion forever. It's awesome. What more do you want? But he keeps on fighting himself in matches that are very tough, that have to do with the rankings, that have to do with the road back to another belt. I mean, how greedy is the guy going to be? I can't begrudge him for anything that I'm saying, even if I want to say it with a sharp tone. But at some point, someone's got to slap him and say, George, you're in a very unique spot. There's 3 guys that live on this island where they can do anything and it's going to be big. George Masvidal, anybody with the last name of Diaz, and Conor McGregor. There's nobody else out there. It doesn't matter who their opponent is. They could go in and wrestle a bucket. People would watch. And Masvidal keeps putting himself in the hardest possible position. I mean, Kamaru Usman, and then he wants Kamaru Usman again. Good for George. Respect the whole thing. I even think that he deserved, but that's hard. Now he wants to fight Colby, and there's no belt. I'm just suggesting for you there's other things to do with Masvidal, not to mention Masvidal's hurt. I mean, everybody, even tough guys in the tough guy business, do have to take just a moment once they get hurt. Masvidal has not fully recovered from an injury, and he's going after Colby Covington, which, by the way, really is a turn in this story, because Colby's been going after George hard. And it even looked as though, just to take you guys down memory lane, it looked as though Colby and George were going to fight. They were going to add the mechanism of the Ultimate Fighter, which seems to sweeten the pot for all of us viewers. I think we would really enjoy that, in fairness. And then you've got this huge fight that is solely based on a personal grudge, which you can only dream of getting. That's the best. For the number one fight you want to see is based on a personal grudge, but how many real ones are there? Guys go out there and they try to manufacture them all the time. This is real. I don't know of another personal grudge match that the sport has, but there's still something there that misses for me, and I believe it misses for me because Masvidal doesn't have to do it. That would be a mega fight. But whatever Masvidal does next is going to be a mega fight. And if the poor guy's hurt, he's got the right to get himself better before he's going to looking for an opponent. But here we are. Here we are in this position. But Masvidal has switched it to a 180. He came out and said that he is trying to get the fight to the point that the UFC has even called Colby Covington, and they're going to call him yet again. I think that Masvidal even said it will be the fourth time. I have a hard time believing that. In all fairness, Nob and Colby, the way that I know him, nobody calls Colby out and doesn't get a yes, particularly the number one guy that Colby wants to fight, who Colby's been coming after for a number of years. But Masvidal has never lied to us. Ever. Masvidal doesn't do shtick. He's a character, but it's not shtick. Right? It's one of the reasons Masvidal is so over. He's just being himself. He's being himself now with longer hair. So he's very authentic and real. I can't remember a time that Masvidal's ever tried to swerve us, the audience, and he's claiming that he wants to fight Colby. If that is true, then I'm very confident telling you, them two boys are going to go and fight. If it isn't true, I do have things I'd rather see both of them do. I do, for right now. If the story comes out, if they tell it in a different way, if Masvidal comes out and says what's going to be different, and there is an answer to that. When those two used to train, Masvidal's greatest strength is striking. You do not strike at 100%. Colby's greatest strength is wrestling. You do, in practice, wrestle at 100% because you won't hurt your opponent. So that right there is a story that needs to be told. But the other parts of it, and the bigger part of it, and I feel as though both of these guys have forgot. I think that Colby's forgot as much as Masvidal's forgot. Masvidal was a 55-pounder back then. It's in a new weight class. It's a different fight. And I know it in my heart, but it doesn't count. It doesn't count for me to know it. I have to be told it by you. And when I'm told it by you, I'm going to watch it, I'm going to rewatch it, I'm going to see it a third time. I'm going to look into your eyes, and I need to know that you mean it. You believe this is going to be different. You believe, you know the same. And guys, I've seen this. I saw this one time firsthand, where a training session did not turn into a fight. It did not carry over. Tim Sylvia, Randy Couture. And Randy would do things to Tim in practice. But then I would watch Randy go with a common opponent that would trade in. Then I would watch Tim go with that opponent. And I could tell that Tim was holding back on Randy. I could see it. I could see it when the common opponent would trade in. I go, oh my goodness, Tim's being respectful. And just before they fought, Tim came out and finally told the media, Randy has a false sense of security over me because I let him do it. I let him do it out of respect. And I'm here to tell you, Tim was telling the truth. Tim was, now whatever happened in that fight between those boys, that's history and well documented. I'm just sharing with you, there are times in practice where it doesn't quite what you see meet the eye. That's one example. But I do need to hear from Masvidal and Colby, and I need to know that they're telling the truth and that they believe it. I need to know that they both want to be here. I hear that Colby's calling out Masvidal for a year and Masvidal doesn't want it. I don't want the fight. I'm now being told that Masvidal's called out Colby a total of 4 times and Colby's not. If they don't want to fight each other, I don't want to see it.